Hi, I'm Mr. Dolphin, and my door is always open for you. Hello, everyone. Mike Dolphin, Guidance Director at Londonderry High School. Welcome to another edition of Guidance News, where we can talk about some of the issues of the current school year. Today, I wanted to focus on what it is to be a guidance counselor. So I have two distinguished guests with me today that are both serving in roles, in one case for 2 years and another this year. And to my immediate left is Valerie Psoinos, who is an intern this year from Riviera College in Nashua and has been working 3 days a week with the high school staff. And will currently be taking a position at Matthew Thornton for a counselor on maternity leave. And to her left is Yelgin, who also interned last year from Riviera and now has been in House 1 serving as a guidance counselor for Miss Bartlett. So I want to welcome them to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is Valerie.
Yes.
You know, first a little bit about where you went to school and your undergraduate years and what influenced you to get into your master's program at Riviera in school counseling.
Sure. I graduated from Alvern High School in 1998, and from there went to the University of New Hampshire in Durham. I graduated from there in 2002, and as an undergrad, I worked for the freshman orientation programs as an orientation leader and a freshman camp counselor. And once I graduated, I actually got offered a position as an academic advisor for undeclared liberal arts students, and continued to work for the orientation programs as well as do advising. And then really just liked having interaction with the students and feeling like I had some sort of hand in their future. So I decided to go back to school full time. So I researched grad programs, and Riviera was one of the best. So went to Riviera, and I'll be graduating in May.
So was there anything along the way that influenced you to go into school counseling? Was it that position at UNH?
It was that position, and I work a lot with teens and youth in theater, and always sort of saw myself in the older sister role, because a lot of these kids some of them don't have a lot of family support. So knowing that I could be that person for them and confided in me in a lot, and it just felt like a natural fit. I enjoy connecting with young people, and just enjoy helping reach their potential.
You didn't know this when you left high school, though, did you?
No, I had no idea
And
really
when
what I was going to do.
When you graduated from UNH, undergrad, did you know it then?
No, it definitely took 2 years of work experience to really confirm for me that it was what I wanted to do. But I had no idea going into college what I wanted to do, and no idea coming out what I was going to do, just through the experience.
So for the seniors or the juniors, parents and kids out there and watching this, what do you say to them about being an undecided or coming out of college and not knowing what you do?
Oh, it's fine. I think you're honestly, because your mind will change. I don't think you're expected to know at the age of 17 years old what you want to do for the rest of your life. And I think so many people change what they want to do along the way that, we had over 400 students that were undeclared at UNH, and eventually they find their niche after exploring and taking classes and doing different activities. They figure out what they really want to do. But I had no idea. And it took a while to figure it out, and that's
But it's
okay
still
too.
okay.
Oh yeah, it's definitely okay.
I'll make sure people understand that.
Yep.
Super. Mr. Yelgin, you took a little different path to being a guidance counselor. So you talk about your background, your work experience, and what led you to change careers, frankly.
Sure. Well, I went to Brandeis as an undergraduate, and I majored in psychology and worked at Boston State Hospital and the Fernald State School, so with kids and adults in a counseling role. The pay was pretty low, and eventually I gravitated towards the world of business. And because I had majored in psychology, the move to marketing was pretty easy, because marketing is essentially the psychology of consumer behavior, and what motivates a person to buy a certain product. And so for about 20 years I worked as a product manager for some Fortune 100 companies like Digital, Hewlett Packard, and finally Philips Medical Systems. And the work was interesting. I helped those companies make a lot of money, but in time it became somewhat empty for me because I was doing more and more bureaucratic types of things and was not interacting with people as much as I wanted to. So that started me thinking about possibly making a career change and wanting, the prime motivation being making more of a difference. That when I look back upon my life and career, aside from helping companies make a lot of money, I could see that I made a difference in the lives of children or adults or their parents. So I started exploring programs and eventually settled on the program at RIV, and I just dabbled at first, just taking one class. And the more classes I took, the more I liked what I was doing, and I liked the opportunity that would be before me. So I remember calling you probably April or May a few years ago and saying, hey, I'm looking for an internship. And you were very open and positive and encouraging, and eventually I ended up at Londonderry High School as the intern. And it was tough to cut the golden handcuffs because I had to leave the corporate salary and benefits behind me, to make the change. And so it was a lot of soul searching that I went through to make that decision. But I know it was the right one for me. And the kids I've met and the parents have been wonderful, and I really
So
think
obviously a lot of courage, and you must have had a great deal of family support to do that, because you do have a family, correct?
Yes. My wife has been very supportive, and we struggled a bit, but I think in the end it will have been worth it.
Okay. Can we talk a little bit about Riviera and the requirements to become a guidance counselor in terms of getting certification in the state? Obviously, you get a master's degree in education, correct?
Yes, it is.
Can you also do a dual certification if you wanted to do an MA at Riviera, or is it just strictly school counseling?
Nope, you can do, I believe you can do a Master of Education in School Counseling, as well as you could do a Master of Arts in Mental Health Counseling. So they have both of those programs. They also have Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study programs in school psychology and mental health, I believe, as well.
Can either of you talk about what it took to get into the program? What are the requirements to, not in the application process, to get into a grad program that you did? I mean, what did they ask you to do? Did you have to take a test? Did you have to?
No, we had to fill out an application. They look at your transcripts from your undergrad. They look at, you had to write an essay, and then you actually meet with the director of the program and sit down for an interview with her to find out make sure it's a good fit. You also have to take your GREs, which are your graduate
Okay, so there is
entrance
a
exams.
test.
Yeah.
No Miller's analogy. GREs?
No. Just the GREs.
When I applied, it was the Miller
Okay.
analogies that I took.
You
which-
talk about those two tests, what they actually are, so we can educate our audience?
Sure. Well, the Miller analogies were actually a lot of fun. It was the first time I had been in a standardized test where I actually liked the process. And I mean, older students tend to do better in the Miller analogies as opposed to the GREs. But it's basically a series of questions where they compare, 2 or 3 items, and you have to fill in the blank. So it might be, your dog is to cat, as I don't know, coyote is to lion, something like that.
Right.
And the last one would be blank.
And is it still 100 questions or whatever it was years ago?
Yeah, I think it
remember?
was 100
And a
questions.
certain amount, the score obviously matters depending upon your major and your grad program, correct? So an engineer would have to score differently than perhaps a school counselor.
Oh, yeah, but I probably.
Did you have to take that somewhere other than Riviera?
No, I mean, it was a Saturday afternoon.
At Riviera?
Or morning at Riv.
So Riviera was a test center?
Yeah, so it was pretty straightforward.
Okay. And the GRE is a little different, aren't they?
GREs are, very different. They were computerized, and it's sort of like an SAT. There's math section, there's a reading section, there's an essay writing section. And I took mine at Pease International Airport because I was living in Dover at the time. And then that was really it. There's not, they just give you a score and you hope it counts and hope it gets you into the program. But in my case, it did, thank God. So,
Well, you both got accepted.
Yes.
And you're at the end of your internship.
I am.
And Lou's finished his. So
Yep.
can you talk about, the components of the program, how many credits, how many courses? Was there a course that was particularly difficult, or you really, what that, and then maybe get into how do you get an internship?
Right. The program for us, starts with, you take courses in everything, basic human interaction, which is just the guts of counseling, reflective listening, and that sort of stuff. And you have to do videotapes along the way, role plays between you and another person in your course, and you have to show the skills that you've acquired, and you show them to your department head, to the supervisor of the program, and they grade you. So we're monitored all the way through. Take classes in abnormal psychology, guidance services, intervention and consultation in schools. So we kind of get a flavor for everything, how to do assessments. And I believe it's 54 credits. I'm not sure if you remember. I think it's 54 credits. And then at the end of your courses, you get reevaluated to make sure that you're ready, that you've fulfilled all the requirements, and that you're still a good fit for the program. So you get checked along the way. And if they say yes, then is when you continue to apply for internship and seek out schools. We're responsible for finding our own internships.
So how was that, Lou? How was the internship part to
Well,
get
I
an
mean,
internship?
that was hard. I mean, I think.
They make you call, the Riviera doesn't do the screenings or contact the high schools for future interns?
No. I mean, there was a time when they had a person, like, who would set it up for the students, but that job went away. So I kind of felt like a used car salesman, to be honest, making cold calls, trying to sell myself, and so mostly I got rejected, but eventually the stars aligned and I met you. So so it was positive. But I know for some students, especially if they weren't used to that, that type of cold calling, it was hard. So I think that would be one improvement to the RIV program, if they could have someone on staff to do it.
Right.
And what's the internship? I mean, what does it involve in terms of hours or commitment, length of time, those type of factors? What do you have to do during the internship, if each of you could touch on that?
Well, the internship for state requirements, it has to be 600 hours. And before you even go on internship, you have to take a comprehensive exam, and that's through RIV. And if you pass that, then you can actually go on to internship. So that's a kind of a big component as well. So 600 hours, and I think people do it differently. Every intern's different. I do 3 days a week, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, depending on the week. And there's a bunch of different aspects to the internship process. There's individual. We have to do individual counseling. We have to do groups. We have to do classroom guidance plans and presentations, as well as just being a supporter for the other guidance counselors on the team. So that's, I don't know if you have anything.
Yeah, I mean, it was, the 600 hours at times was, was harder to accumulate. I mean, I did 2 to 3 days a week, and you have to keep track of all your hours. We had to do a weekly diary as to what we experienced and the issues we encountered. There were the classes that met at least when I was there, it was every 2 weeks we met.
So you do have a class that meets during the internship that you can go back, and is that with other people in internships?
Yep, it's all people on internships. It's sort of like the support group because everyone's at different levels, and it's an opportunity for us to share our experiences and get support just from other people that are on internship for issues that they're having and we're having. So it's definitely a good thing.
Videotaping also as part of the internship. So so we had a student that we kind of followed on an individual basis, and would show the videotapes to the class and get feedback on our method and questions we could have asked that might have improved the outcome of for that student.
Now, when you finish up in your certification, is it K through 12?
Yes.
So you can work at any level?
Yes.
School?
In New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire?
In New Hampshire, it's K through 12. I mean, I got certified in Massachusetts also, and there it's broken up. So you have to take a test, which is kind of like the SATs or the GREs, and my certification is grade 5 through 12.
Okay. Did you check out or research other grad programs in the state before you settle on Riviera?
I did. I was at UNH, so UNH has a Master's of Education program as well. So I was going to stay there, and I took 2 courses while I was there, a career class and a multicultural counseling class. And I just didn't feel like the program was a good fit for me. I wanted a program that I knew was going to monitor me along the way to make sure that I was acquiring the skills that were necessary to be an effective guidance counselor. So after researching Riv's program, I found that that's like what the program was all about, and I just really, it was a comfortable setting. It was close to home, so I was able to move back home and save some money. So that was nice. So it's just a great program, and there's definitely things that need to be changed, but I think there's things that need to be changed in any program. But it's a solid program for school counselors, I think.
Were you a little more limited, Lou, because you live in the area and had a family, or did you check out others as well?
I mean, I think I stayed at Riv because it was an easy commute. It was so I could get there from work, you know, and so I just kind of fell into it. I didn't explore any other programs other than, I mean, I took one class. I liked the teachers. I liked the director, and I just did it one class at a time and stayed there. Okay. So it was a very good program.
So if you talk about your internship experiences and your time brief or whatever in the field, what do you think you like best about being a school counselor? If you could each comment on that.
Well, for me, I mean, what I like best is the students, is the kids, and that I mean, I like interacting with them, you know, every day, and I view it as you know, planting seeds. Sometimes they don't listen to me, and I may say things that I'm hoping 5 years from now they'll think, oh yeah, Mr. Y said something to me about a certain career or a certain class that was important, and maybe 5 years from now it'll click and it'll turn out positive. But it's the kids that make it worth it, that make each day a positive experience.
Do you have a particular story or student that you can you know, recount or talk about that has been successful by working with him or her without obviously mentioning that student's name? Somebody that you'll remember probably for the rest of your life?
Oh boy. Well, there's a student that has stumbled a bit. That actually I was looking forward to her, graduating from Riv someday and becoming a nurse. Unfortunately, things didn't work out the way that I had hoped or that she had hoped. But I think I had a positive impact on her in terms of she got into the college she wanted. She got into the nursing program she wanted, and for various reasons, she had to withdraw. But I know she's going to be starting elsewhere in the future, and I'm hoping that all the sessions I had with her and that will allow her to draw from that experience, and that she'll be a stronger person because of it.
So, thanks. Val, what about the best part of the?
I agree with Lou. I think the best part is just connecting with students on a daily basis and having those moments of excellence that you just see come through, and you're just like, all right, I did something good today. And driving home at the end of the day and being like, all right, I did something right, and that kid's going to be okay today because of something small that I did. And I think the important thing for me to always remember is that it's the small things. Everyone has a story, and that's been my philosophy all the way through, is that every kid has a story. All they want to do is be heard and genuinely listened to and genuinely cared about. And I like to believe that I'm doing the best that I can for providing that for my students. I've had some difficult students this year on my caseload, but they've been wonderful, and it's been a treat. I'm actually really sad to be leaving in April when I'm done, before I go over to elementary school. And but I know I'm going to stay in touch with them.
Is there one student that, like Lou, you can recount?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like one of my students who, when I first met her, she came into my office and looked at me straight in the face and said, "I hate everyone." And I said, okay, this is going to be a real positive experience for us both. What do you do in a situation like that? And so we just kind of chatted, and there wasn't a lot of chat, but she came back the next week, and she's been coming ever since, and I've been seeing her regularly and have really connected with her, and she's been a great support just for my for what I need to do in my program, and I've been a really great support for her. So she's a kid I'll definitely be keeping in touch with
Super.
for the future. So yeah.
Any frustrations in terms of the job, being a school counselor? Do you each have a pet peeve or a big frustration that you'd like to see changed, or something that you'd like to be able to problem solve?
Win school.
Is that computer technology?
Well, I mean, the software system that we use here for keeping track of students and their classes is somewhat antiquated, and I mean there are better software packages out there like PowerSchool, as we've talked many times, and that's a major time waster.
Is that because
I think
you
for the
noticed
counselor.
it because of your experience in industry right away? Because you had so much, many years in industry that
Well,
you saw the
yeah.
difference right away?
Well, I mean, I used to be a software product
Right.
manager for, I don't know, 6-7 years.
Right.
So I know good software and bad software, and what we have now could definitely be improved, and would definitely be much more efficient in terms of the counselor's time, and less frustration and better service to the students and the community. So that's certainly one thing that I could see as needing improvement.
Val?
I don't really know that I have a huge frustration. I think sometimes it's just knowing where to go and feeling like I have all the support that I need to be able to help a student, and feeling like sometimes there's just these students that get lost in the middle, and you want so bad to see them succeed, because for me, I truly believe that every kid has the potential to be someone in their life. And sometimes when either you feel resistance from either other people or other counselors or teachers, or the kid themselves that just doesn't want to push through, that's frustrating. But then I just look back at myself and say, okay, you know what, I've given them all the opportunity I can, and it's up to them now. It's in their hands. So I think that's probably one of the biggest frustrations of the job, probably.
So how about some final words for the parents and the kids out there on what you try to do every day in your job as a school counselor? Are you on their side? Are you trying to keep secrets from the parents? What would you say that to the community about what you're trying to do as school counselors?
I would just say we're here to support you. Like, we are here for your student. Our first priority is your student, and making sure that they become the most successful adult that they can, whether that's going on to a 4-year college or going on to the workforce. We just want them to be happy. We want them to be successful. We want them to be an all-around great human being. And we're here to support them no matter what it takes. We take risks for them, and we're not the enemy. So that's all I would say, is that you call the guidance counselor if you have questions and are concerned, but we just want to be there to support your kid, really.
Lou, anything to add?
Yeah, I think we're here to help the students be successful and be good citizens and be happy about their life. Whenever I'm counseling students about their career, I always tell them my goal is that once they get out into the real world and are working, that in the morning when they wake up, they look forward to whatever it is they're going to do, and it could be carpentry, it could be plumbing, it could be nursing, it could be a doctor. But my goal for them is to wake up in the morning and really want to go to where they're going to be, and the pay it's nice to get paid for what you love to do, and that's
Right.
what I try to get them to tap into.
Super. Well, thank you both for coming to Londonderry and being part of the department, and best wishes to both of you in your school counseling guidance career, and thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Appreciate
you, Mike.
it. Bye.